Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Lego Speed Champions Ford Mustang Dark Horse set. This is set number 76920. It has 344 pieces and I paid $27 for this. So this is another one of the new Speed Champions sets for 2024. I believe it officially comes out on March 1st, 2024. It was one of these sets I was able to get a little bit early. As far as recording this video is when this video will be, on YouTube and available to watch. It might be, the day of, it might be the day after or something like that. I'm going to try to get these all out. I've already done a video looking at the McLaren F1 car Speed Champion set, and now I'm going to look at this one. There's also the Audi e-tron Quattro, I believe, and there's also the BMW 2-pack that are releasing alongside of this, and maybe some other ones. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll get more later in the year. Either way, I do really love Speed Champions. I'm not sure about the price increase, so I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But in this video, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build process for this brand new Lego Speed Champions Ford Mustang Dark Horse, I wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. So we start off here with kind of a standard 8-wide Speed Champion chassis. We build kind of the internals relatively early, but that makes sense. This is a super dense build with lots of cool techniques. We do have some stickers here, including one that I put on the wrong way, and I had to use my X-Acto knife to fix. And you should always, if you use an X-Acto knife or any other sharp tools, you should make sure to put them away and cover them and keep them safe. I didn't do that initially, so that's just maybe a friendly reminder that I should have done that. And then we add the side panels with some new pieces and some nice stuff, really good sub-assemblies. We add the fenders for the back. You can see we have some Technic stuff. I loved how that was implemented to make the kind of rear side panels, the exhaust, and everything else. We also have some cool clip pieces in here to get some fantastic angles achieved at the rear. Loved how that was put together. A couple more stickers, and then we have the whole kind of front end to do now. Again, we add a clip on the kind of back windscreen, the windshield, add the front axle, and this becomes its own kind of sub-assembly here, which was really impressive and had some good techniques. We use more of like the bar elements and some clip elements to get kind of a nice offset in the middle, and I talk about a lot of these building techniques more in depth in the full review. So I just really wanted to take this build time to say thank you, and also I loved this, and my thoughts on the value of these sets with the price increase is still up in the air. So thanks, and now on to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the new Lego Speed Champions Ford Mustang Dark Horse set. This is awesome, and I did not expect to like this as much as I did, and there's a few reasons why. And I'll get into those as we go here. But one of the main ones is that, a Mustang, as far as a body shape of a car, isn't terribly interesting to me. It doesn't feel like it's wholly brand new or, that crazy. It feels kind of boxy. It feels, to me, there are certain Mustangs that look similar to Chargers and Challengers, which are Dodge, or some other kind of car, and I discounted this one based on what I thought it was going to be. Having built it, my feelings about it have completely changed. So I think this is really, really phenomenal, and I didn't expect that. I already built the F1 car, and I have the Audi and the BMW ones yet to look at. This is the one I'm looking at second here, and so far the F1 car was amazing in my opinion, incredible, and I think this is up there as well, even though my expectations for this were quite a bit lower. So we will get into it, and the first thing we'll look at is the minifigure, because you do get one. So we can take a look at that. So we have a minifigure presenting, I would say, as like feminine, and they have, you know, a pretty generic face printing, cool hair here, kind of over on the side, maybe like a shaved side over here. So no alternate face on the back. And they also have a helmet. It's just a plain helmet, no printing on it or anything, just a clear visor. But I do really appreciate when Lego includes an alternate hairpiece for them, so that is very, very cool. They also have the accessory of the large wrench, this one in kind of like a silverish kind of gray there. And looking at the torso, it looks like they're wearing a hoodie. It says Mustang Dark Horse on it, has a pocket, some drawstrings, nothing on the arms, nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs. Those are just kind of basic. Looking at the back, we can see this is super detailed, a lot more detailed than I thought it was going to be. So maybe some of the hood up here, kind of the Dark Horse logo in the middle, and kind of some nice detailing off on the side. So pretty cool minifigure there. Very happy to get alternate hair, and the helmet and the branded kind of torso there is pretty cool as well. If this is more of a civilian type thing and not necessarily like a race driver or whatever, it makes sense to have just plain pants. And actually, if I'm looking at this, it looks to me like they are driving the vehicle without the helmet on, just with the hairpiece on in there. So if this is a road vehicle, yeah, they could just have a, you know, a sweatshirt that matches or says, you know, Dark Horse, but then just have jeans or, you know, whatever blue pants there. So that is that. And then the rest of the build is this car, this Ford Mustang Dark Horse. So I love this. And the first thing I'm going to talk about here is the stickers, because I just want to get that out of the way. And there's, like the F1 vehicle, there's a mix of stickers here and prints, which I was very happy to see. Now, this one has quite a bit fewer stickers than the F1 car, so I'll try to point those out right now. If we're looking at the front, we have a sticker over here and a sticker over here. Right here we have a sticker, and over there, and this is a sticker on the front. Looking at the side, we have a sticker here and a sticker here for the door handle. Other side is very much the same, sticker here, and we also have some stickers on the inside. So sticker there, so some of that, and I'm trying to think. Oh yes, and then we also have this one here and this one here. I believe that is all of the stickers. So actually not that many. You know, the ones inside don't bother me too much. They're nice. It's like the center console dash custom mode kind of thing there, and then it just says Mustang Dark Horse kind of over here. So those are internal. You don't really see those. These are fine. You know, no stickers really on the back here. Door handles and the Dark Horse logo on the side is fine with me. And the stuff around the front is pretty good as well. I would say the color match is pretty close, pretty good. I would say it's kind of hard to tell a little bit, and in person I think it's a little more visible than on camera here, but I think the color match is actually pretty good. So the production work on this I think is really great. And now that we've talked about that, we can talk about the rest of this. So this was an awesome build. It starts out with a chassis that I'm used to seeing for 8-wide Speed Champions here. So we start out with that, but right from the get-go, this had some interesting building techniques, using some jumpers, using some like offset studs, and some really cool stuff. So you kind of work on building up the center and the rear. You do build like these side panels with a new piece that I don't think I have seen before. I think it is a new piece for this year, I want to say, because I feel like I would have encountered it before if it wasn't. And that is essentially this 2x6 bracket kind of, but then it has, you know, only two kind of studs on the back, so not across the whole thing. So it's like a 2x6 bracket, and that's a pretty interesting piece there. So you get two of those, one on each side, and I loved how this kind of sub-assembly came together for the side, kind of the door area there. I always love how these kind of angled slopes come together. I really appreciated how tiled out, how fluid this looks. The curves are really nice. So I really appreciated that, and it was very satisfying when all of the pieces came together. Looking at the back had some very inventive and cool techniques, which from the outside I don't know if I would have fully appreciated, because this kind of slope here and this kind of silhouette here from the side is rather standard, I would say, and same for the back windshield and everything here, and it's actually far more intricate and interesting than I thought it would be, even though the outside kind of looks like this. So if we're looking at the back, we have some exhaust here. You can see we have some lights and a logo, maybe like a trunk area or something like that. Now, this is a print, and actually the one above that is the same print, but you just don't see the logo there, but that allows for the lights to kind of get up under there, which creates this really nice thing. And this is at an interesting angle, as is this, and that's by using some clip pieces down here and some interesting sub-assemblies to kind of put together the exhaust using brackets and tons of little stuff. There was some upside down building. So like this, you can see is clipped in there. So there's a little bit of movement there, but not too much. This one down here almost has no movement, and those are even offset a little bit by using a modified 1x2 plate with the two clips coming off of it, and then putting that on top of a a studs on the side brick with the hollow holes, and then you insert those kind of small, let me see if I can just get this out of here. Well, you insert these kind of clip pieces into there, and that's really, really cool. It was a great technique. I think the angle achieved is very nice, so I can kind of push that back in there, and the way that these meet together, there's very little gap. It looks super consistent, and the overall effect is great. So we get this nice angle here on the back, the angles coming in, the angle coming back out there again, and then coming back into kind of the spoiler here, the wing on the back. So some very intricate stuff, even down to like the side here. This was a built on a little bit of a, like, using a couple brackets and different stuff. Very well done. I thought it was going to be kind of like flimsy or finicky. It wasn't at all. It just worked really, really well. So I was very, very impressed by this. Looking at the back here, I also really liked how this was done. And actually, I'm going to pop off the kind of wing on the back so we can see something. These pieces are also clipped in behind here, and this is clipped in, so well, I popped it off a little too much, but these are clipped in, so you can see that move, and these are kind of upside down, and then next to that is the same piece but right side up, so that's really great. And then the whole back window here, using the new dark translucent, is clipped on there, and we can see the modified tile with the bar coming up has some clips for the headrest. So this is all a sub-assembly. You don't put it together like this. You actually do this when you're building the seats, and that can fit right in here. Let me get that in there. Oopsies. I'm gonna have to fix that now. I don't know if I'll be able to get that out. Okay, let me pause it quick. Okay, so I got that piece out of there, and I will attach these headrest pieces to it again, and then I'll slot this back in. So there's some really like tight construction in here. No space is really wasted. Nice change of like angles and different stuff. So I will slot that back in, and then the window, kind of back window, slots in here, clips in, so you get that nice angle. And then I also popped off kind of these side pieces at the back that go on in very easily. But while that's all off, we can look at more of the internals here, because we can see these seats kind of not like bucket seats, but they have kind of this interesting shaping there for the seats. We do have a gear shifter there with steering wheel, and again we have kind of the console and some of the decal up here, which is nice. I think you could fit 2 minifigures in here. That only comes with one, but that's okay. But some good detail in here. I kind of like how the internals is done, so really nice, and there's just no space wasted. There's a lot of good stuff packed in here to kind of achieve the overall effect. So I'll actually pop this back on. I will pop the side back on here, and the other side. Love the use of these kind of dark translucent bricks and plates here to kind of continue this window at the back, as well as how they meet up with the kind of canopy windscreen here. So that all looks very nice. And then I can put back on the tail here at the back, or the wing. So that's terrific. Looking at the front, one of the things I didn't point out right away is that there's some prints. So besides the one at the back there, we also have these that are printed, if you can kind of see that. So those are those slope pieces that are printed, and then we have some stickers that match kind of that same pattern of the grill there, but those are a couple printed pieces, which is really nice. Very good to see that. And again, the front came together in a really interesting way. So it looks kind of basic. It's like relatively flat, square, boxy, but it's really cool. This on the hood is offset by like half of a plate or half of a tile there almost. It's very subtle, but really nice. The shaping of that is really cool. And again, that's done by using some clips and some other stuff. There's some upside down building in here. You can see this is on the back of a inverted tile, a 1x3, and we can see the bottom of some of those angled slope pieces there. You can see some studs pointing downward here as well. So some good kind of upside down building, clipping things together, adding things on. The way that the angle for these like headlights and this kind of straight line here is done, again with clips, using some of these clear pieces with the hollow stud and the angled kind of bar coming off of it. So that's very cool. And also another thing to note is these cheese wedges here are printed as well, and I believe you do get an extra one. So they just have, they're like the dark blue print, but then it has, or dark blue color for the piece, but then it has the black printed square kind of on the face of that. So very cool, another little printed piece for this. And I loved how this came together. And from the outside, I thought this was going to be just very straightforward, building like studs on top, you know, around these fenders and everything like that. And it's not that at all. It's actually really cool. Like this whole sub-assembly was nice. It slots in there well. And then when you finish tiling out the top, I was thoroughly impressed. So I love to see that. Looking at the bottom again, we can see we do put some inverted tiles here on the bottom, which is fine. It does look good from the side. The silhouette of that is nice, how in the side panel this kind of dips in there, maybe for, I don't know, for intake or just for whatever. So I love that down there. And then we have the dual molded wheels. They spin well, and it's really impressive. You know, I think this one had like the most pieces for a single car out of this wave. So and they get used to really good effect, because I thought this shape was super basic, super not cool, and then I was blown away by the build. Like all the different use of clips and angling things just right, tons of different sub-assemblies to put this together, how some of these plates and tiles kind of meet and match up kind of perfectly with some of the other stuff in there, you know, at the rear, at the front, all the different clips, upside down, right side up, studs on the side, tons of different stuff to make this come together in this form factor in this way. And I am thoroughly impressed by it. You know, I think there's a version of this that could have been done that's not nearly as detailed or as intricate, that is way more basic, and that's kind of what I was anticipating. But there's so much here done with what they have that I think is like really impressive and kind of blew me away. So even like how this angle here for this subassembly like matches up with the angle back here, all of that is very lovely, and I'm very happy to see. There's very little gaps anywhere, very little imperfections, and overall the build experience was kind of phenomenal in my opinion. So really, really impressive there. We do have some extra pieces. I will show that. We do get the extra of the rims here, the hubcap type things, because those come in a prepackaged pack of 8. You know, the McLaren F1 car had different wheels than normal that were special and printed, and then had printed kind of disc pieces for the hubcaps. These are pretty standard gunmetal gray sort of Speed Champions hubcaps there for the 8 wide ones. And then I'll show the rest of the extra pieces here, because you do get, you know, a fair amount. Get an extra. I love getting extras of these, and then it's in the clear. It's kind of the 1x2 rounded tile without the jumper stud in the middle. Extra of the microphone in that dark blue. Some flower studs used throughout there. Extra of that printed cheese wedge with just the black on it, and then a plain one as well. Extra visor. So those are all your extra pieces. Pretty standard, your 1x1s, all of the tiny stuff. Bar element here, which was used to attach this kind of sub-assembly in the hood there to kind of get that offset. So you use a couple of those. Very, very lovely. And this set is 344 pieces, and I paid $27 for this set. So this is actually almost 100 pieces more than the McLaren F1. Let me grab that. And we can see these next to each other. So the McLaren F1, it's a little bit longer, it's lower, there's a lot more like negative space and different stuff, more stickers in this one as well. But looking at these side by side, you know, this one has about 100 more pieces, I think 99 more pieces, because I think this one was 245, the McLaren F1, and this Dark Horse Mustang is 344. So 100 piece difference here. And when I was a little bit struck by the value proposition, because I was so disappointed to see that the Speed Champions, the new ones for 2024, were going to be $27 rather than $25, or rather than $20, as a lot of the 8 wide Speed Champions were in years past. And I think I was a little bit flummoxed by it, because I was so impressed with the McLaren F1 vehicle. I loved the design. Some of the new pieces and the printed pieces were all taken into consideration there. And this has some incredible design work. You know, piece count wise, I don't know if it's similar to the Nissan Skyline that I think had quite a bit of pieces for a Speed Champion as well. And the Speed Champions run kind of a range of piece counts, and they all kind of fall into the same pricing. So maybe there's a reason why, that's part of the reason why maybe there's some changes in the price. But you know, one of the things I talked about with the McLaren and its value was that if I never knew Speed Champions were $20 or $25, and this came out for $27 for, you know, 344 pieces for less than $30, I think I might think that that's kind of impressive. You know, it has some co-branding, it has some licensing stuff, but it's not the same as like a Marvel car with 200 pieces that retails for, you know, $35 because it has some iconic character minifigures in it and stuff like that. So it's very different from something like that. And you know, I don't know if $27 is too much for this. It feels bad because in the past this would have been 25 or 20, and so comparatively it's not great. But on its own, if I removed some of that history, which I don't think is necessarily appropriate, but if I did, hypothetically, I might feel like the value's okay here. It doesn't feel great to spend $27 and just get one car here as far as a toy or a display model goes. I think the $20 and $25 price points are much better for impulse buys, for buys for people of all ages and interests and stuff like that. So I think, you know, there were better prices in the past, and maybe these will go on sale and it'll be a little more reasonable. I'm not thrilled about the price increase. I'm not thrilled about paying $27 here, but all that's to say is that a lot of my thoughts on that are based in my experience with this theme and with this line and these kind of models in the past. And I don't know if I'm accurately assessing the value of this set or the McLaren F1 set just based on what's in the box, because I'm comparing it to the kind of precedent that was set by Lego as far as the value of a Speed Champions set and what goes into it and what to expect. You know, as far as what to expect from the build and the design and the experience and the end result here, I think they've consistently like maintained quality and even raised the bar sometimes in like the piece usages, inventive building techniques, and the like. And they've also increased, you know, the price multiple times now. And so they kind of set the bar where it was, and it feels bad to raise it, even if maybe this is closer to where they should have been initially. I still don't like it. I think I was kind of comfortable with them being 25, and I know it's not that much of a difference to go from 25 to 27, but it's not that much of a difference to go to 27 and 30, and I'm really going to be upset if Speed Champions go to $30 for a single car. So the $20 was really great value, great theme, really great building techniques, and tons of cool stuff, fun for a toy, fun for a display model, and then $25, you know, I was still not thrilled about it, but I was kind of at peace with it, especially because they could be purchased on sale occasionally. Now at $27, I would hope that they would go on sale, but I don't know if it, you know, the price increases, they go on sale for the same percentage, and the price is still going up, but you know, there is some merit, I think, probably to the pricing scheme. I just am not thrilled about it, like I said, based on the history of the theme and my personal history with it. So I would have loved for this to have been $25. It wasn't. It was $27. I still kind of feel like I got my money's worth, which I don't necessarily want to say, because I don't want Lego to consistently raise their prices. I would love for them to lower some prices sometimes, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen, even though I wish it would. So that is that. And a couple other things that I wanted to make note of that, you know, as I look at this and as I go over here, there's still some production issues with Lego, some mold marks on here on certain pieces. So on this tile, there's a mold mark that's pretty visible there. Other side is pretty good. And there's a few different pieces that have that same kind of issue. Actually, one of my pieces down here on the hood has a mold mark. Now that's a square piece. I could rotate that one around. I just didn't notice it when I put it on there. This tile over here has a mold mark. I could rotate that around. I don't really love having to adjust how I'm putting, you know, symmetrical pieces together, or pieces that can go in multiple orientations around to avoid mold marks. But that's sort of what's happened, you know, with some of the 1x1 clip pieces. I have to try to do that, and I did that with the McLaren to try to make sure the mold marks weren't visible, and I didn't pay as much of attention there. So like this one, the mold mark's visible, and even just looking at the extra pieces, you know, on the back of the cheese wedge, the mold mark is visible there. I don't love that. You know, so it's not impeccable quality. It's not perfect. It's as far as production goes, the color match on the sticker is good, and the color match throughout like the pieces seems consistent and good. So there are some good things and some bad things. Some of these mold marks are not great. And I've recently been looking at some sets from even 2013, so that would be like 10, 11 years ago, or, you know, 2010 or earlier. And, you know, you still see some of that stuff, but you don't maybe see as much of it visible as I do now. That could be recency bias. I'm not really sure. It could be rose-tinted glasses, like looking back fondly for an era of Lego that actually wasn't as fantastic as I might remember it being, but you know, that is what it is. So just another note there. You might be able to see those and make note of that and adjust accordingly. You know, for this tile up here, there's no real way you can avoid that with that mold mark, because if I flip it around and put it over here, it's still going to be visible. It's just, you know, depends on how it's displayed or how it's held or how it's played with. So that is that. But overall, I really loved this set. It's a super fun build, and I totally enjoyed it. Not thrilled about the price, not thrilled about some of the production, but everything else is pretty awesome, and this remains one of my favorite themes that I'm just kind of always in awe of, and they kind of keep outdoing themselves, I think. So I think some of the best design work is maybe in this theme, working within a specific scale, and I've been really impressed. And that's true of some of the older Speed Champions, newer Speed Champions, ones from last year, this year, and so far for 2024, these are really great. So that's the long-winded, again, review for this new Lego Speed Champion Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Really good, not perfect, not a great price, but really fun model, super fun build, and it looks great. And my expectations were very much surpassed. So very good. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Speed Champions like the Audi e-tron Quattro and the BMW 2-pack, and then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. There's some more cars like the Icons, F1 car, and just tons of other vehicle sets that are coming out, as well as like new Harry Potter sets and like tons of other stuff. Eventually there'll be new, Star Wars sets and lots of things. So if you're interested in my thoughts on those, subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. If you want to support this channel, you can do that right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And with that and the membership, you can get access to my videos early before they're up publicly on YouTube, as well as some exclusive stuff, and you help support the show. So if you're interested, maybe consider checking that out. Every little bit helps, so I appreciate it. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.